given what happened on Friday with the news breaking of Paul Chiang doing this sort of kidnapping for ransom to the Chinese communist murderers, they had a press conference this morning, basically, I guess, in response to Mark Carney's complete inaction on this, saying that candidates who feel threatened, like Joe Tay definitely does, can get private security to keep them safe. And anyways, I'll just be quiet. We'll show the clip and then I'm sure we'll both have lots of remarks.
Over the past week, the panel of the Critical Election Incident Public Protocol has met and been briefed by the Security and Intelligence Threats to Election Task Force, also known as SITE. The panel has not found any incidents that have impacted Canada's ability to have a free and fair election. One concerning trend is the intensification and rise in threats of violence and intimidation directed at Canadian public figures. That is why the Government of Canada has introduced the Candidate Security Program. This program provides an additional layer of security through unarmed private sector security services to candidates who feel intimidated or threatened. It is in Canada's vital national interest that Canadians running for elected office feel safe. This new program will complement other measures to keep candidates safe, such as the SITE task force briefings to security-cleared representatives of political parties represented in the House of Commons, one of which occurred last week, and the CSE hotline for candidates. As part of its mandate, another area the SITE task force continues to monitor is transnational repression. In the report on the public inquiry into foreign interference, the Honourable Justice Hogue issued a call to action on transnational repression. She noted her concern over what she had heard during the inquiry and observed that transnational repression seems to be on the rise as the world continues to change rapidly. Their goal is to advance foreign interests and silence criticism and dissent. The strength of Canadian society is for all of its citizens to be able to freely and safely participate in our democratic processes. Internationally, Canada is working with our partners and allies to address this pressing global threat. As part of Canada's 2025 presidency, G7 members will come together to discuss a coordinated response to countering transnational repression. Here at home, we are taking a whole-of-society approach. Canada's security and intelligence organizations are at the front line of efforts to detect and counter this threat.
I don't know about you, but this seems like a lot of fancy words for deal with the foreign interference problem in Canada. And maybe we won't have to have all these extras. I mean, is it any wonder that nobody wants to run or is nervous these days to run as a political candidate if this is what you have to expect is intimidation tactics from foreign governments? And I don't know how much unarmed private security is really going to be able to quell of that because, well, when you're dealing with hostile foreign governments,
they'll poison you. like they won't even shoot you. They'll poison you. They'll kidnap you. They'll kidnap your family in China. And that's how you'll be forced to return to China. So I don't know. I mean, but this is elections officials trying to react to the fact that Mark Carney fails to act on this kind of stuff. So they're just like, well, what do we do? I guess we got to do something because Mark Carney isn't turfing the candidate that said, yeah, you should kidnap him and turn him over to the Chinese killers for $1 million so I can win my election. There's nothing these liberals won't do to win. That's what I've noticed. And it's never the liberals who are the targets of Chinese repression. It is always the conservatives, or in the instance of Jenny Kwan, who is an NDP MP in the Lower Mainland, she was the target out of the consulate in Vancouver there because she's outspoken against the abuses of the Chinese regime. And I noticed in the press conference that Jenny Kwan held about Paul Chiang's craziness that NDP leader Jagmeet Singh couldn't say a word. Why? Because he took that high-level security briefing. So he can't say anything. He just had to stand there like a stump, which is probably better than listening to him talk, to be honest.
Yeah, they get to hide behind that veil of, well, I have my security clearance, so we can't talk
Mhm.
about it. And we're going to criticize Pierre Poilievre for not having it because he wants to continue to talk about it. It is upside down, bizarro world that we're living in.
We don't get government money, and we are not owned by some big global conglomerate. We're funded by people just like you, so please support independent journalism and help us continue our work by subscribing and becoming a Rebel News Plus member today, right here on the page. Go to rebelnewsplus.com.